if we're all ready, if you want to come back up the front. Right, so how did everyone find making the omelette? Was it straightforward enough? Yeah. What do you think, Lisa?
It's alright.
It was alright.
Yeah.
Right, so the next dish we're going to do is a mushroom risotto. Who's made a risotto before? Yeah. Okay, so a risotto is a creamy, soft rice dish. The liquid, as it cooks out, the starch that's in the rice, which is a boro rice, causes the liquid to go creamy. There are chefs out in the industry that think the way to make it creamy is to drop a load of cream in it at the end. It's not. If you cook it properly, it'll go nice and creamy as it is. Okay. So, important things we need to get right. First off is we need to cut onions brunoise. Do we know what brunoise is?
Alright.
Sorry?
Alright.
Yep, fine dice. Same for a clove of garlic. Now the mushrooms, what I'm going to do is half the mushrooms I'm going to chop really finely, and once the onions and garlic have been sweat off, cooked down, I'm going to put the chopped mushrooms in there to get some of that mushroom flavour going through before I add the rice. So it's a little bit of butter and a little bit of oil that goes in there. That way the butter won't burn, but you still get that nice rich buttery flavour in your risotto. So generally, when you're making a risotto, the ratio of rice to stock is 1 to 3. You only want to sweat your onions and garlic when you get them in here. What does to sweat mean? Yep, it's to cook it without colour. The onions will go translucent, like you said, Connor. So it'll take about 3-4 minutes on a relatively low heat. Got a little bit of salt in there, just a little bit. It helps to break the onions and garlic down while they're cooking. Brings the moisture out, which is what salt does to make food taste better. Done, you get there now. Well, that's nearly done. So mushrooms are full of lots of water. They're about 70 to 80% water. So you'll see more moisture coming out as they cook down. going to do is add the rice. So what you want to make sure risotto is all the rice is stirred through well and it's all coated with whatever liquid's in there. That butter, the oil, all the juices coming out, the onions and the mushrooms. When we cook risotto, it's done by a method what we call absorption method. So it's up to you to control it. So we don't just add all the liquid at once. We add a little bit at a time. And when that's nearly all absorbed, that's when we add a bit more and a bit more. So as it gets towards the end, you need to be looking and tasting your rice to see how far cooked it is. If it's a bit gritty and chalky, it obviously needs to be cooked a bit longer. So you'll add your stock even slower towards the end so you can control it. The rice will increase in size by 3 times as well. So it's something you need to keep an eye on, keep going back to and checking. Don't just leave it and walk away, and don't just pour all your stock in and just leave it to it. You can see the liquid in there is going like a creamy texture now. It's just that starch coming out from the liquid, from the rice, when the liquid's extracting it. So you can see most of the stock's gone now, so I'm just going to add a bit more stock to it and repeat like so. Okay? So if you want to start measuring up and start getting everything cut,
well.
Sorry?
Are we going to soak them?
No. And make sure you peeled them, have you? Yeah, brilliant. So is everyone able just to come up the front quickly? So I'll just show you the finished risotto. Right, so I had to add a bit more stock than the 400 ml that the recipe says. Okay, now you can see it's growing quite a bit, which is what happens with everything rice. So it needs a lot of seasoning in there as well. Now I took some of my sliced mushrooms and I pan fry them. You don't have to do that, but you can do that as a garnish on top of your risotto when you present it, because with all your assessments you do, if you can show any creativity or flair, as they call it, in the way you present your food, it will help you to get higher marks as well. The rest of the mushrooms just fold through at the end. They'll cook quite quickly in there. And where is it? And the Parmesan cheese. Okay. And that's another form of seasoning, that's why the Parmesan goes in. So risottos, the texture when it's served, it's what it should be. They say it's like lava, so it should just flow lightly off your ladle. It shouldn't be swimming in stock, but it shouldn't be really thick and heavy either. Okay, so give it a shake so it goes nice and flat like that. Put parsley over the top. If you work for Jamie Oliver, not that you will anymore, there's a bit of olive oil on top too. Okay, that's your mushroom risotto dish. So even that portion there that I've done is a little bit big, so you can make it a bit smaller than that, and that's the finished risotto dish. Okay. I'll just pour some of this in as well.
You fry that in oil or olive oil?
Just normal vegetable oil, just in the frying pan. So you need to remember you've got like onions and you've got rice in there. They don't have a huge amount of flavour to them, so you need to season it quite a bit to bring those flavours out. Okay? Let's see. Odd numbers are always better for some reason.
Wait a little.
Yes, chef. There we go. Right, off we go.